All right, folks, got another one for you from the wild world of r/IDontWorkHereLady. Buckle up, 'cause this one was a doozy. So my girlfriend just started working at this big convenience store that has a pharmacy inside. You know the kind. Anyway, I dropped her off for her shift the other day, and I was just hanging out near the front, waiting for her coworker to show up before I left. Just kinda leaning against an end cap, scrolling on my phone. That's when this woman, who was basically peak Karen energy, storms in. Like full-on frantic energy, eyes darting around, zeroing in on aisles like she was on a mission from the pharmacy gods themselves. She finally spots what she's looking for: cold medicine, and strides right up to my girlfriend, who was behind the counter. "Where's the cold medicine?" Karen demanded, cutting off the small interaction my girlfriend was having with another customer. My girl, bless her, just calmly points. "It's over in aisle 4, ma'am." Karen whips her head back around and says, scoffing, "I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your boss, who needs to stop flirting and help customers." My brain legit short-circuited for a second. Who was supposedly flirting? I was just standing there. My girlfriend just blinked, clearly confused too. I couldn't help a little snort of amusement escaping. This woman's audacity was impressive, honestly. Before I could even process her ridiculous statement, Karen turns and locks eyes with me, the guy just minding his own business leaning against a shelf. "Well, where is he? You're the manager, go get the pharmacist," she barked, pointing a finger. "Okay, time to step in." Ma'am," I said, trying to sound polite despite wanting to laugh and hide simultaneously. "I don't actually work here. I'm just waiting for my girlfriend." I gestured vaguely towards the counter. She didn't even register it. Her focus shifted slightly. She stomped off towards the pharmacy counter, then came right back, her face getting redder. "Where is the pharmacist? I need Katie." My girlfriend chimed in. "Katie might just be stepped away for a minute, ma'am. She'll be right back." This apparently was the absolute worst thing she could have said. Karen's eyes narrowed. "Stop lying." She then spun back around to me, the delusion apparently fully setting in. "I told you to go get him. You're the manager, just get the pharmacist out here now." "Again, ma'am," I said, feeling my own patience wearing thin. "I don't work here. I can't get anyone." Just then the actual store manager, a calm-looking guy, came out from the back office, probably alerted by the rising volume. "Is everything all right out here?" he asked, stepping between Karen and me. Karen immediately rounded on him, her voice shrill. "Finally, I want to speak to the owner. Your staff is incompetent and lying to me." The manager, bless his soul, replied, "I'm the store manager, ma'am. How can I help you?" "No, you're not," she insisted, shaking her head violently. "You're not the real manager." "I know you're not." And they just started going back and forth, her absolutely refusing to believe this poor guy who was, wearing a manager's shirt and standing in the manager's office doorway. That's when something just snapped. Her face twisted, she let out this guttural yell and started grabbing things, bags of chips, boxes of cereal, soda bottles, just throwing them across the aisle. She was screaming obscenities, swinging her arms wildly, even lunging towards people who were backing away in horror. The manager took one look at the escalating chaos and yelled at my girlfriend, "Call 911, now." The police arrived pretty fast, sirens wailing. You'd think that would de-escalate things, right? Nope. Karen took one look at the uniformed officers and started screaming they weren't real police. She started kicking and hitting the windows of the squad car they tried to put her near. It was insane. One of the officers later pulled me aside while they were dealing with her. He said she was likely high on something, based on her behavior and inability to grasp reality. They had to call in EMTs to give her a sedative because she wouldn't calm down at all. They eventually took her away in the ambulance. The store was a disaster area, stuff everywhere, broken glass from something she smashed. They basically had to close down to clean up the mess she'd made. My girlfriend, who'd only been working there a short time, looked absolutely shaken, seeing that level of pure, unhinged chaos unfold right in front of her. Yeah, she quit shortly after. I honestly don't blame her one bit. And just to really cap off the absurdity of the day, like 5 minutes after the police and ambulance left, and they were just starting to clean, some other guy who looked like he'd been awake for 3 days stumbled in and proceeded to projectile vomit all over the front counter. Seriously, what even was that day? Glad I was just waiting and not actually on the clock. Some places just attract the wild ones, I guess.
All right, folks, settle in, because your friendly neighborhood Kai has a doozy for you today. Now, I'm not saying I'm a master storyteller, but this one practically writes itself, and it involves fire, a distinct lack of common sense, and a guy who really wanted to pay for non-existent gas with his debit card. So picture this. Me and my buddy Leo were seasonal grunts for the National Park Service. Not the cool ranger hat and sunglasses types, more like the fix that trail, clean that latrine types. Anyway, one scorching August afternoon, a wildfire kicks off. Not just a little brush fire, mind you, but an actual, honest-to-goodness wildfire that had half the state holding its breath. We, along with every able-bodied park employee, got roped into the auxiliary firefighting efforts, hauling hoses, digging lines, the whole sweaty, smoky 9 yards. It was chaos, smelled like a giant, angry barbecue, and after about 36 hours straight of adrenaline and grit, our section was finally declared contained. Phew, right. Our crew chief, bless his cotton socks, finally gave us the all-clear for our sector. Go get some rest, boys. Come back to your regular duties tomorrow. Rest sounded like heaven, but we were still running on fumes and a weird kind of wired energy. So instead of heading straight back to our bunkhouse, we decided to take the slightly longer route past the old Gilded Pine Inn. Morbid curiosity, maybe, or just needing to see the extent of it. The Gilded Pine Inn, or what was left of it, man, it was a gut punch. Just a blackened skeleton against the smoky sky, the smell of burnt wood still thick and acrid. The old-timey gas pumps next to it, the ones that were more a historical curiosity than a functional station, twisted, melted slag. We pulled over just staring, soot-stained and bone-weary. It was a somber moment. Then, rumbling up the dirt access road comes this minivan, looking ridiculously out of place amidst the devastation. It pulls up right beside us, and out hops Dad Dude, probably mid-40s, already looking impatient. Mom's in the passenger seat looking stressed, and 3 kids are glued to screens in the back. "Hey, you two, you work here," Dad Dude barks, not even a hello. He's jiggling his car keys like he's got places to be. Leo, bless his diplomatic heart, starts, "No sir, we work for the Park Service. This inn and the gas station, they burned down in the fire." He gestures vaguely at the smoldering ruins. "You know, the giant, unmissable pile of ashes." Dad Dude barely glances at it. Yeah, I see that. But the pumps, do they take debit?" He's actually pointing at one of the warped, blackened metal stumps that used to be a gas pump. I swear, Leo and I exchanged a look that could have started a whole new fire from sheer disbelief. I had to bite the inside of my cheek. "Sir," I said, trying to keep my voice even, "the entire station is destroyed. There's no power, no gas, nothing. It's gone." He huffs, marches over to the least melted pump and actually grabs the nozzle handle or what's left of it. He gives it a yank. "It's stuck," he announces, like this is our fault. Then he peers at the scorched metal. "And where's the card reader?" "What kind of crappy service is this? I need gas." By now, I'm pretty sure my jaw was on the grimy floor of our truck. Leo's making a funny squeaking noise, trying not to laugh. "Sir," Leo tries again, his voice trembling a bit, "there is no card reader. There is no gas. The place burned down." He's speaking slowly, like to a very small, very confused child. Dad Dude throws his hands up. "This is ridiculous, unbelievable. I want to know who you work for. I'm reporting this. You can't just not have a working gas station here." He's getting red in the face, and the kids in the back are starting to look a bit scared. "We work for the National Park Service," I said, "and this isn't our facility. It was private property." I wasn't sure what else to say. How do you explain to someone that a pile of ashes won't dispense fuel? He just glared at us, sputtering, "Useless, absolutely useless." Then he jumps back in his minivan, slams the door and peels out, spraying gravel everywhere. And the kicker, He actually gunned it towards the still smoldering part of the forest we just come from, the opposite direction of the main highway. The second his minivan disappeared around a bend, Leo and I just lost it, bent over, tears streaming, the kind of laughter that makes your ribs ache. It was so utterly, magnificently absurd. The sheer, unwavering confidence of that man in the face of catastrophic, smoldering evidence to the contrary. It was a masterpiece. After we finally caught our breath, Leo just shook his head. Debit, Kai. He wanted to pay for imaginary gas from a ghost pump with a debit card. Some people, man, you just can't make it up. We were exhausted, we were sad about the inn, but that guy, he gave us the best laugh we'd had in days, and a story I'll be telling till I'm old and gray. Anyway, that's my customer is always wrong, especially when they're not a customer and everything is on fire story. Hope you got a chuckle. Stay safe out there, folks.
Liking the vibe so far? Hit that subscribe button and stick around, the next story's even better.
All right, folks, settle in, 'cause I've got a beach day story that went sideways so fast, you'll get whiplash. Name's Kaius, and this happened back in March. One of those perfect early spring days where the sun's actually got some warmth to it, you know. I was down at the coast with my girlfriend, her sister, and a buddy from work. We de-staked out a decent spot, music was low, just soaking it all in. Life was good. Then from the corner of my eye, I spot her. You know the type. Blonde, sharp bob, those big dark sunglasses that scream, I want to speak to the manager. She was wrestling with a couple of beach umbrellas and a cooler, while two little kids were practically vibrating with sugar and impending doom, flinging sand everywhere. She was already barking orders at them about sunscreen, her voice cutting through the chill beach vibe like a rusty saw. Jason, stop that. Tiffany, get over here now. I remember nudging my girlfriend like, get a load of this one. We all kinda chuckled under our breath. My initial thought was just, glad those aren't my monkeys, not my circus. So I tried to just tune her out, focus on the waves. But oh no, the universe had other plans. A few minutes later, after she'd finally managed to get her screaming banshees somewhat contained, she starts scanning the beach like a hawk. Her gaze lands on our little group, and then, specifically, on me. I'm just chilling, minding my own business, mid-sentence with my girlfriend about what toppings we should get on the pizza later. Suddenly this woman is just there, standing over me. Excuse me, she says, not so much asking as demanding. I look up a bit surprised. Yeah. I need you to get one of those tables from over there. She points vaguely towards a public picnic area about 50 yards away, and bring it here for me and my children. And an umbrella. Make it quick. They're getting restless. I kinda blinked. Oh, sorry, I don't work here, ma'am. This is just a public beach. I gave her what I hoped was a polite but firm smile. Her face just tightened. The sunglasses didn't hide the scowl. Don't be ridiculous, she snapped, cutting right over my girlfriend who was trying to say something. I saw you watching us. You're clearly staff. Now, are you going to get the table, or do I have to report you? Report me for what? I asked, starting to get a little annoyed now. I literally just told you I don't work here. I'm here with my friends. I gestured to my group, who were all looking a bit awkward. Don't you lie to me, she shrieked, voice ratcheting up a few notches. Heads were starting to turn. You're just being lazy, and what's with that accent? Can you even speak English properly? Is that why you're being so unhelpful? Okay, now I was officially pissed. I'm a pretty patient guy, but the entitlement, the interruption, and then the xenophobic jab. Nah. Look, lady, I said, my voice a lot harder now. I don't work here. I'm trying to enjoy my day off. So with all due respect, go find someone else to bother, or better yet, figure it out yourself. Maybe I wasn't that respectful with my tone. How dare you, she screeched. You are the rudest employee I have ever encountered. I want your name. I'm going to have your job for this. She stormed off, muttering about incompetence and foreigners. My friends were all, wow, what was her problem? And we tried to laugh it off, but the vibe was definitely soured. About 10 minutes later, just as we were starting to relax again, guess who's back? Yep. And this time, she's got a guy with her looking harried, wearing a beach patrol supervisor vest. "That's him," Karen bellowed, pointing dramatically at me. "That's the employee who was incredibly rude to me, refused to help, and then swore at me." The supervisor looked from her to me and back again, clearly not thrilled to be there. "Sir," he started, looking at me, "this lady says you were rude and used offensive language towards her. She also claims you refused to do your job." Before I could even open my mouth, Karen piled on, "He told me to F myself, and he called me insert offensive slur here." She actually used a pretty nasty one, which, for the record, I absolutely did not. The supervisor raised an eyebrow. "Did you tell this woman to F herself?" he asked me directly. I took a breath. I told her to go bother someone else after she repeatedly insisted I worked here and then insulted me. I might have told her to get lost, a bit more forcefully than that, because she was way out of line. But I absolutely did not use any slurs, and I definitely don't work here. "He's lying," Karen shrieked. "He's a lazy, disrespectful employee, and he should be fired immediately." The supervisor sighed, then looked at me. "Well, sir, even if you were rude, I can't fire you, because you clearly don't work for Beach Patrol or any beach vendor I'm aware of. You're just a citizen." He then turned to Karen. "Ma'am, he doesn't work here. There's nothing I can do." This did not compute for Karen. Her face went from red to a sort of blotchy purple. "What do you mean he doesn't work here? He's obviously an employee. Are you covering for him?" That's when I decided I'd had enough of this circus. I reached into my beach bag, pulled out my wallet, and flipped it open. "Ma'am," I said, my voice very calm, very official now, "I really don't work here. I'm a federal officer." I showed her and the supervisor my credentials. The supervisor's eyes widened a bit. Karen just stared at the badge, then at me, then back at the badge. For a second, I thought her brain had short-circuited. Then something snapped. You're lying, that's fake." She screamed, and then, I kid you not, she lunged at me and tried to slap me. Instinct and training kicked in. I sidestepped, controlled her arm, and used a basic compliance hold to put her on the ground, face down in the sand before she could escalate further. It was over in a second. She started screaming, "Assault! He's assaulting me, police!" The beach patrol supervisor was already on his radio. Her kids, who'd been watching this whole meltdown, burst into tears. It was a whole scene. Local PD showed up pretty quick. Statements were taken. My girlfriend and our friends backed me up. The supervisor corroborated that she initiated the physical contact after I'd identified myself. Karen was still screeching about me being a fake cop and assaulting her, even as they cuffed her and led her away. The last I saw of her, she was trying to argue with the officer putting her in the back of the cruiser, kids still wailing as social services were being called. Man, what a day. We tried to salvage the rest of it, but the mood was pretty much shot. Later on, reflecting on it, you almost have to laugh at the sheer, unadulterated audacity. This woman was so deep in her own entitlement that she couldn't fathom a world where she was wrong, to the point of assaulting a federal officer, off-duty or not, still a bad move. Some people just live in their own little Karen-dom, and reality checks can be brutal. So yeah, that's my "I don't work here, lady" story with a side of resisting arrest. Hope you got a kick out of it.
This one pairs perfectly with what you just watched.